Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Sever7 and today we are taking a look at the Kansept Main Street. This came from the Lefty Pass-Around group. It was designed by Dirk Pinkerton and it was OEM'd by Kansept. This guy's kind of a chonker, right? Kind of a little bulldog. We've got G10 and carbon fiber laminate for the scales. Not my favorite, but you know, this is a budget knife, surprise, surprise. So, you know, I mean, to an extent that's to be expected. And it doesn't look terrible. I guess just knowing what it is kind of makes it feel cheap, but I mean, it's fine. For what you're paying, it's fine, I'll say that. It is super smooth, so no grippiness. Yeah, you're not going to get any, any traction or anything from the scales. This is using T6 throughout the body, and then, no, I'm sorry, T6 for the pocket clip, and then T8s for everything else. And then we do have a deep carry stamped steel non-reversible pocket clip, and we are sporting no backspacer. Now, as far as the ergos go, I mean, this thing is full size. Like, if they were going for spacious, like, they nailed it. I can choke all the way up, and I still have room for a whole other finger back here. I wear large size gloves. I can also choke back and still have plenty of room up here as well. So this thing's gonna be plenty big. You can spread your fingers out, really find the grip that works for you. If you need to choke up to really put pressure into a cut, you can do that. Kind of see I'm all the way up here, and I'll be able to push down. I mean, not that you should really be using this for incredibly difficult stuff, but if you got an extra thick box or something, and you just need to put a little more, back into it, then you're going to be able to. Now, despite being as big as it is, due to the handle materials being the G10 and the carbon fiber laminate, this thing feels surprisingly lightweight. Like it feels like a nimble. I mean, it feels like a knife that's like 2 inches smaller. Check out our balance. Okay, so yeah, we're balanced right. All right, so the balance is helping too, because we're balanced right where we want to be, and we have lightweight materials. So, yeah, I mean, if you didn't like, hefty knives, but you also wanted something that, was a good size, I would say something like this would be perfect for you. We do have jimping. It is functional jimping, but it's a little uncomfortable. Like if I had to use this jimping for more than just a minute, I'm gonna start to feel it. Yeah, because it definitely digs in. It's not sharp, but it just digs in. Now we are rocking a Wharncliffe style blade, and I say Wharncliffe if it's a flat bottom and the tip is below the pivot. I don't know if that's right or wrong, but that's just what I use to go off of. If I'm wrong, please let me know down in the comments. We have this medium reflective stone wash. We're rocking a flat grind. Yeah, rocking a flat grind. And we have 154 cm as the blade steel. So that's gonna have good toughness, decent edge retention. It'll have good corrosion resistance. It's pretty easy to maintain. The kind of steel that because this is budget oriented, it's, performance oriented as far as like having a budget knife that you can really put to work. So ease of maintenance for 154 cm is great. You don't have to baby it, and it'll stay in good shape. Now we are rocking a crossbar lock, and I am not the biggest fan of crossbar locks because they don't have a detent, right? And a detent is something like the Real Steel Sylph. I have to overcome the pressure that the lock bar is putting on the blade. And there's also a detent ball that's tucked into a hole. So for me to open this knife, I have to break past those pressures, and the result is I get a satisfying and snappy action with good acoustics. If we do the same thing over here though, we don't have a lock bar. We don't have really anything putting we don't even have a detent ball. The only thing you have to overcome is this little bit of spring tension, which means while you can flick it out, you're just not getting that same level of satisfaction, right? Now, I will say too, that doesn't mean I dislike all crossbar locks. Crossbar locks come with varying levels of tension. Some of them are adjustable. I don't know if this one is or not. That way you can increase the tension, give it more of a detent. There's certain things you can do. You can replace the springs if you want to. I know you can go on like Amazon and stuff like that, and get like high tension Omega springs, and then you can just put those in, right? So I mean, you have options, but just out of the box, it's not going to be the most satisfying, action. Now I will say though, what they did a good job here on the acoustics on the way up. On the way down, if you kind of wrist it, you can get some good acoustics too. So overall, I do like the acoustics, and some people like crossbar locks because you can kind of do this. Oh, I think it's just kind of annoying. But also a distinction I want to make is some reviewers are going to tell you it's super smooth, right? Like, oh, this is so smooth. Well, no, it's not smooth. There's no friction, right? So for something to be smooth, like my tabletop is smooth. So whenever I rub across it, I can say, oh man, that's smooth. There's still friction between my fingers and the tabletop. When you pull this crossbar back, there's no friction, right? So the absence of any resistance at all doesn't mean it's smooth. It just means there's no resistance at all, right? So, don't trick yourself into thinking that, oh, this is smooth. Every crossbar lock is going to have, if they're, built correctly, every crossbar lock is going to be completely frictionless. They're all going to be drop shut. There's not going to be any variance, provided everything's working correctly. Whenever you pull the crossbar down, there's just nothing. It's just free falling, right? So this is not a good measurement for the action of a crossbar lock. There's no friction, and it'll be like that for every single one of them, right? Not smooth, just lack of resistance. Now, if there was some resistance, like this guy here, not super smooth, right? Just not super smooth. I had to shake it quite a bit. This guy here though, I push the button and it falls. And then one little shake shut. See, that's smooth. And I can say it's smooth because it's fairly effortlessly contending with whatever friction is there, right? It still has friction from the lock bar insert. Right? And it's contending with that just fine. So that would be an example of something that's smooth. This is just a crossbar lock. So crossbar locks are reliable. They are tough, easy to manipulate, finger safe, right? I'm not hating on crossbar locks. They have plenty of advantages. And if, like Kaiser's crossbar locks, it's got 3 different adjustment levels. And out of the box, they feel pretty great. Like they've got, they do a really good job with the faux detent. So does QSP with their glide lock system. They do a good job with the faux detent too, just because of how they tune their springs. So it's not to say all crossbar locks are bad or anything like that. I do like crossbar locks. Just when you get the budget versions, sometimes, you know, you don't get the most satisfying deployment. That's all. So as far as the overall length, this is nearly full size. We're coming in at 7.92 inches with a blade length of 3.36 and a blade to handle ratio of 0.73 or 73%. We're going to do a size comparison. Let's go ahead and pull the real steel Silph out. So dwarfing the Silph by about an inch. Let's do the Vanguard Cheetah. And they're coming in, it looks more dramatic to you guys because of the angle, but the Vanguard Cheetah is coming in at probably 1/3 of an inch. Yeah, about 1/3 of an inch shorter than the Main Street. So, you know, just shy of 8 inches, it's a good size knife. Now, price. How much does bad boy cost? So this guy comes in at just 80 bucks, right? And that's without discounts, without savings. You know, I don't have a discount code for Kansept yet, but I will. You know, but you can find these things on sale or apply a discount code, you know, get it down to the 60s, right? You know, 65-ish bucks. And for that price, you're getting a ton of knife, right? Even if you know, strip away the materials and you just think daily use and functionality, I mean, you're getting a comfortable grip, you know, no hot spots, unless you're really, you know, digging in on the jimping. Comfortable grip, no hot spots, very performance-oriented blade shape. You're going to be able to get down with the tip and do whatever draw cuts you need to. This thing's going to go through boxes because of that full flat grind. It's going to be nice. Well, I say full. It's not a full flat grind, but it is a flat grind. But yeah, I mean, this thing's going to be nice and slicey, nice and pokey, you know. But then you add to that the fact that, you know, you're still getting anodized hardware, right? You're still getting the carbon fiber laminate, which, you know, is a little more effort than just straight up G10, right? I know some people prefer the G10, but it's a little more effort with the laminate. You know, you're getting a ton of bang for your buck. So is this a knife that I would carry? Yeah, absolutely. It might not have the best action, but, you know, whenever you're getting to work, right? Whenever you're doing, you know, taking care of business, breaking boxes down, opening letters, the priority isn't to have the best action you possibly can. The priority is to have, you know, something that's going to get the job done. And this knife is absolutely going to be capable of getting the job done, right? And I think where this knife shines is going to be whenever you're putting multiple hours in. You know, if if you work at a box factory and the box machine's down and everyone called out sick and they're like, quick, we need you to break down 4,000 boxes in the next 3 hours. Like, what am I going to grab? This guy right here. Comfortable, right? Tough, bit of a workhorse, right? So yes, I would absolutely carry this. Now, is this something that would make its way into my collection? No. It's not the type of knife that I would put into my collection. You know, keep in mind, budget isn't really the deciding factor for me. I have inexpensive knives in my collection, but, you know, this knife doesn't speak to me the same way. So no, I wouldn't have this as a collector, but I would keep it as a user, and it would definitely be in my rotation, especially on days where I know I'm going to need to lean on something a little bit heavier. I'm going to need to lean on my pocket knife a little bit more that day. I could definitely see myself reaching for this. So my question to you is this a knife that you would add to your daily rotation? Is this a knife that you would add to your collection? Let me know down in the comments. And while you're down there, if you could hit the like button, that would be awesome. And if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe, turn on the notifications, and all that business. Thank you so much for your love and support. You guys have been amazing. I appreciate you very much. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at SEVRSEVN. That's SEVRSEVN. And until the next time, peace.